It's here from Pop Turn to speak to Mika Amonsen about Thanksgiving, which is now in theaters. One of the best slashers of the year and all time, in my opinion. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, no problem. It's good to be here.
I feel like, just to kind of, it's been crazy. People have been seeing it. People love it. The reaction's been incredible. Thanksgiving 2 is happening. There's so much in that world happening right now. We got to talk about it all. But, even before that, like when you sign on to it, was it cool to think about working on a horror film at a time where there really is an appetite for that genre? Like, it's one of the most popular genres to work in right now.
I was just excited to work with Eli. The horror thing was like right over my head. All the scenes that I had with Lonnie, they were all like my dreams come true vibes. It's like just like the Afflecks and Damons of Good Will Hunting being young, just talking shit in front of a fucking sorry. Cut that out.
No,
in front
of
a
you can
supermarket.
Swear. You can curse. It's fine.
In front of a superstore. It's like that was just the coolest thing. And then even the gym scene that I have, my death is really quick, really. So I never saw my character in all, I never like pictured all my scenes like, oh, this is a horror movie. I knew I was doing one, but I was like, I really don't care. Yeah. These scenes are just so cool for this character. He's so funny. He's so just outrageous. But I definitely thought it was unique that it was a horror movie on Thanksgiving because like you hear, there's Halloween, there's Christmas, there's, all these other ones. But like I never had heard anything on Thanksgiving. So I was like, what the heck?
I know.
This is different.
It was different. And I wanted to kind of know too, in terms of the audition process, because I feel like every project it's different. How much do you know? Do you audition for like multiple roles? Like what's that like for you for this one specifically audition wise?
Yeah, a lot of the times if a project likes you, they'll bring you in multiple times. Yeah. But this one was, I did one audition and I just got a call and they like, we like him, we want him. I'd been practicing my Boston accent before I could even act.
So you auditioned for Lonnie? You auditioned for Lonnie?
Yeah, I auditioned for Lonnie.
Yeah.
In a thick Boston accent. I threw in a few extra swear words, with the Boston tone, and I think Eli liked it. I was really sick at the time. I was really sick. I was having health issues where I couldn't sleep even, so I looked so bad, and I didn't think I was going to get a call. I'm like, well, I'm not going to book this. This sucks, but is what it is. And Eli's like, no, he looks old and tired and like a piece of garbage, and he looks like he's a Boston masshole. Hire him. And I'm like, okay, great.
And I can't even imagine. I'm wondering, like, I would love to speak to a lot of the people that were in that gym scene with you because you're just spitting fire, you know what I mean, and motivation the whole time. And I feel like I guarantee you there's some people even that we don't see on camera that are probably cracking up. Like, am I on the right track there a little bit, or like are we too in the zone to kind of think about that?
You're not far, but like I kind of bonded with all the kids beforehand. A lot of them were younger, so like I talked to them all. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm gonna be going off and like saying whatever because I showed up. It was my first day, and I showed up. I was really nervous because I hadn't met Eli, and then I met him, and he's like, okay. We ran one past, and he's like, no, like just do this and do that and do this. I'm like, that's not on the script. Like I memorized the lines. He's like, screw the lines. Just go. I was like, what? Like I'd never been given like that much freedom from a director before.
Yep.
And trust that like, hey, your character, the things you would say, go for it. And like, yes, all that was unscripted. The guy pushing the weights at the beginning of that scene, that's one of the producers, not producers, but the AD's son.
Yeah.
The other scene, like the other part of that scene, like the long hair, the guy with longer hair. I used to have long hair as a kid. So I was talking to him like, hey, I'm just going to, screw with you. Don't take it too hard to heart. And I walked by him and I hit his hair. I'm like, looking good, cover girl. Like all that stuff wasn't in it. And so it was a joke fest, man. Every time we yelled cut, like, yeah, it was hilarious.
John Carver is on a tear and he's killing everyone. And there's a reason why he's killing people.
Yeah.
And there are two characters that, in my opinion, are like the main reasons of why, what, like, again, spoiler alert, the movie's been out for a while. In all my interviews, I've been putting like spoiler alerts and everything, but like, we can't not talk about it. I'm sorry, okay? But,
Yeah,
like,
get it together. Go see the movie.
Go see the movie. I've seen it 3 times already. I might go see
Really?
it again, dude. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
same. After all the screenings,
it. Dude, it's so fun to see it like again. Like that's like it's.
I think some people miss the point of the movie. Like some people, I was reading some reviews and they're like, it's so cheesy. It's so like this, it's so that. I'm like, yeah, but like you're missing the genre. It's like that it's reminiscent of. Like we're talking about 80s slashers, man. Like,
do you know how many boxes this movie ticks too? Like you brought up, right, the Thanksgiving, the holiday component.
Yeah.
This movie ticks all the boxes. But no, I have a really cool question because it involves Lonnie and everything.
Yeah.
Evan and Lonnie are the 2 kind of main people that cause the thing that happens that leads to John Carver to go on this kind of reign of terror, if you think about it. Because Evan needs a phone, he goes in, right? Does this whole thing. He pisses you off. You like push I think it's like the gate open. Like Lonnie is like a big part of it, if you think about it at all. Have you thought about that a little bit?
I know. I definitely knew he instigated, but I didn't think about it. Maybe that he was like one of the main.
You're the
main
worst,
culprits.
dude. I hate you. Like you're a good actor. No, everyone can. You're a waffle maker. Like I hate you so much in that movie. Like at that scene, like you're the worst. But that's the point, right? Like,
if you're suggesting that Lonnie is just as important as Evan, and that they're like 2 of the main, instigators, it's almost like they should get their own spin-off or something, That'd be crazy.
Because I spoke to Tommaso about it too, because Tommaso does a lot, like Evan does a lot of things that lead to what happens. You know what I mean? He has to get a phone. He films everything. He makes the video. There's all that. You know what I mean? But like that chaos only happens if you don't like push the gate. If you think about it.
Well, Lonnie doesn't push the gate.
I went back and watched it.
He doesn't push the gate, but he takes the bullhorn.
No, he takes the bullhorn, but you kind of push the gate. Go back. You kind of
no, because people kind of push past Lonnie. He's kind of just like, doors open, everyone. You're get your fucking waffle irons, and then everybody kind of pushes past him. I feel like the gate was kind of already on the way. I feel like
so forget the gate, but the blowhorn. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're the worst. Lonnie's the worst. Let's be honest.
How does it work in the U.S.? Like it's not like just the rioters, but the main person who's found. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. I sound a bit congested. But the main person that's charged is the instigator.
Yes.
Is it not? Yeah. So in that case,
I just hate too. You take the blowhorn, get your waffle maker. Like you're the worst, but like you're a great actor. Like that's what that's what you were put to do. Like, can you imagine like going to the store and someone recognizes you? It's like, oh, it's Lonnie from Thanksgiving, and you're like, I hated your character. That's like the best thing to hear though, because like that's the point, is it not?
I haven't been recognized from the movie yet, and I'm kind of happy about that. Okay. I don't know. It's mixed feelings. I mean, it's a really niche movie. It's almost like those cult horror movie kind of vibes. So I don't think I don't know. Lonnie isn't on the screen long enough, but no one's stopped me yet.
Was there a moment when you were filming, the inside the store, but also like outside? Like, was there a moment, because that like was a big scene and you and Shay were in that as well and everything, and
yeah,
you got, and everyone was there, right? You know what I mean? Like the cast was there and everything. Was that kind of one of those moments where it's like, whoa, like this is big because there's so many people, you know what I mean? It's so cinematic and everything. Like, what was that whole kind of scene like specifically to film?
That whole scene was just an absolute paradise within itself. Like everybody was just having so much fun on that particular at that particular location. Mm-hmm. We had a really great break room, which was part of the store. It was just all these couches they'd push together, so everybody would just screw around in there and eat food and talk, and then you'd go outside to work, and there'd be 2,000 extras, and people. So the extras became so familiar with Lonnie because I never broke the accent. Mm-hmm. So therefore, it kind of seemed method. I wasn't doing anything method. I was just keeping the accent up. But when I'd go out, people would just assume I was from Massachusetts because I just kept it up for so long.
So you did the whole even when you weren't on set, you were doing it.
The moment I got on set, it was always.
I'm a little green with this stuff. Is that technically like method acting? Technically,
I don't know. I guess maybe it's technically like within the sphere of things.
Yeah. Okay.
But you'll see a lot of people do it. Like for example, I'm on set. We'll talk about this. We'll touch on this. But I'm filming Whistle with Corinne Hardy, and all the producers from the First Nun.
Nice.
So we're working on another horror movie, which we'll get to. But
Sophie Nélisse.
Sorry?
Sophie Nélisse is on that, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
I'll cut it out. I'm going to cut this out if she's not on this because I'm 95% sure. Is Ali Scobie in this movie?
She is in this movie.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, no. And
yeah, it's
Daphne Keane, all these amazing people. Yeah, it's such a great cast.
Yeah.
But I digress. It was so we just keep it up, and the reason I mention them is because a lot of them are Brits, you know, on that set, like Sky Yang, for example, and he keeps his accent on the whole time. So it's just something we do to not lose the accent because you will lose it if you don't keep it up.
Yeah.
So I would walk around and I would go outside and see extras, all these 2,000 extras, and they would just start yelling, "Fuck you, you jerk off," you know, and they would just say things that Lonnie would say back to him, and then I would respond as Lonnie. And then I would start fake beefing with extras. And then we would roll. And then I would just roll as Lonnie. So everybody was so used to Lonnie. But by the end of it, it was such a good time. It was so fun. It was the most fun I've ever had with a character. Like I can only compare him to like doing something crazy like the Joker. Just like being this over exaggerated, you know, just angry man. It's fun.
I mean, and it's like you work on Thanksgiving. Now you're working on Whistle, kind of getting in the horror movie kind of scope of things. I mean... But you get it, right? Like you get the hype, and also from the business perspective, right? About, you know, the fact that a lot of these don't cost as much as other big movies. Like you understand it now, right? Like a lot of people don't. Yeah. I was talking to Milo. Like Milo said that he didn't like understand like the hype around horror movies until working on Thanksgiving.
From a business perspective, or from an audience perspective? From an audience,
from business, the whole thing, right? Because I feel like it's just a whole machine right now of an industry.
There's so much of it happening too. Yeah. I mean, especially like when COVID happened and then the strike, like, I don't know why I was going out for so many horror movies, like everything I would go out for.
Yeah.
So people are like, "Oh, you're the horror guy now." I'm like, no, it's just, we're shooting so much of it. There's so much horror content that like, it's just what's readily available.
Yeah, I know. It's because it's like, I get it. It's the genre right now. I think it's a lot of things because I'm also creative as well, and I kind of look at it in one of those things where, like, yeah, you know what I mean. You look at a movie like, you know, like Insidious, The Red Door, which, you know, costs, I think, like from $10 to like $15 million to make, and then you look at Indiana Jones, it costs $300 million to make. You know what I mean? So that think about that, right? That's kind of except Thanksgiving as well.
The profit margin is insane. It's like, look at
Thanksgiving. Look at Thanksgiving.
Was it the Green Witch Project, or what was it? The Blair Witch Project.
The Blair Witch Project is in my top 3. It's funny that you mentioned that. Are you a horror movie guy? Do you like them? Like, can you watch them?
I started to try to watch some because I've been so involved in the genre, but it's not a genre that I seek out.
Do you get scared easily? But, it's okay. Like,
yes.
Okay. Yeah. 100%.
But more like from supernatural stuff. But I could barely watch The Blair Witch, and it's so funny because you don't really see anything,
dude.
But
that's like one of the scariest movies
from that movie. Yeah, like my friends were like, "It's not scary." They were laughing at me. I'm like, the artistic choices to create suspense out of nothing in that movie is crazy, man.
Dude, the ending of that movie is like, I can never get it out of my head. Where like there's that house, like there's the chase scene. Have you seen the whole movie?
Well, are you talking about the second one or the first one?
The first one, like the original one. The ending, basically, where you just hear someone screaming and someone's chasing after someone, and there's someone in the corner just staring in a corner. Like that whole thing was just the scariest thing. Because I always talk about this on my show because I'm a big horror movie guy, and like The Strangers with Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. Blair Witch Project, the original, and most recently Smile that came out on the Paramount movie Smile.
Yeah.
Those are the top 3 scariest movies like I've ever seen. And like,
oh wow,
it's not even close.
Smile looked horrifying.
Smile was like the first time where like I had a hard time like going to sleep. I was like,
Wow.
this is difficult because there's some things in it. There's some jump scares in that movie that just, it's crazy. What can you say about Whistle? I mean, I know you can't. There's some things you can't say. I mean, it's cool. You're working on it, shooting in Toronto, right? We saw an announcement with the cast and everything, so it's out there a little bit.
Yeah, I think the plot's out. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I mean,
but you're working on it. It's gonna be awesome.
Jamie, can we IMDb that quick? So Rogan it up with my assistant here. No, I think it's out on IMDb. The plot.
Yeah, I feel like
and deadline.
I feel like it's one of those things where there's, like you said, there is, with the auditions, and there's an appetite for those movies to come out. So people see the announcements and they're excited for them. What's the family and friend reaction been to Thanksgiving though? Like, have you gotten a lot? Like, I'm sure it's been nonstop messages, and texts. Like, it's probably been a bit overwhelming.
It has. I try to get back to everyone. I'm from a small town, so a lot of people who've seen it, they're just like, they just send me messages and like, we're so happy for you. And, it's been a long time that I've been doing it. So for friends and people that I acquaintances to see it, it's great. It's been great reactions, even from other actors that people like when I got on the set of Whistle, when I got onto the set of Whistle, I didn't expect it, but like so many people came up to me and they're like, "Oh, we just saw you in Thanksgiving because we went out, and so good. You were great." And
you were.
People have had great things to say.
You were great at it, man. Like, honestly, you were great.
Thank you, man.
I would have been cool to see more. You know what I mean? That's always the like of your character, but
I would have loved to have done more.
it's always
you know who got to do more was Joey. It was Joe Delphine, and I love Joey, but he plays McCarty.
I'm speaking to him right after I'm speaking to you.
I love Joe. I love you.
Yeah.
But he's so funny when he fires off the gun. What, I was gonna fire off if they won. He's like, what an idiot. His dad's like, sorry for swearing, but his dad's like, well, sorry, sir, my son's a fucking idiot.
No, that whole no, it was McCarty party, and McCarty's like one of those very intriguing characters. Like it was so good. No, and I can't wait for more people to go see it. I've told like everyone to go see it. I think the best thing I'm going to say right now is I went with my buddy after seeing it twice already, and he went for the first time, and he turns to me after. First of all, he's dialed into the movie the whole time, right? Like the whole time, he's like he's like this the whole time. Right, which I thought was the best because like I've seen it before, right? So I could like pay attention a little bit, right? But then the movie ends, right, and like the Misfits song comes on and everything, and he looks at me and he says, 10 out of fucking 10, man. That was like, that's good. That's like what you want to hear, right? From someone who's
that is. I mean, yeah, it's been great. Yeah, that kind of reception has been like consistent, and I mean, it's awesome. People who get the movie get it. Yeah, and there's some people who just don't. Like, I was on TikTok, and some people, like I said, were just like, "This movie's so cheesy. It's like this, it's like that." It's like, no, you don't understand the genre.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't. Again,
it's like trying to buy a brick. It's like going to a fruit store to buy bricks. It's like you don't understand what's happening here.
Oh,
like,
I agree with that statement, but it's out, and I'm so happy for you and the cast and everyone involved. Yeah, man. Mika, so great chatting with you, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, dude.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, the movie's great, guys. Go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still in theaters for a while.
Your Instagram account is just your name, right? If people want to keep updated.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough. Just my name, Mika Amonsen. Straight.
Awesome. Well, it's been Pop Turnitive. YouTube.com/PopTurnitive for previous episodes. You can, of course, catch Mika Amonsen as Lonnie in Thanksgiving, which is now in theaters. Until next time, this is Mika and Peter Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Pop Turnitive. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Pop Turnitive on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.